Traveling by train can be fun, exhilarating and exciting. But what happens if we add a healthy dose of danger into it? That's what we're going to do on Prime Group Kaleidoscope today. Take you on a dangerous train ride or two. Welcome to our weekly dose of daring, positive, different. From India to Ecuador to Argentina, South Africa, Australia, Mexico and the USA, there are some train rides that are truly at the top of the danger stakes. Like this one, the Minami-Aso route in Japan, which crosses the land surrounding one of Japan's most active volcanoes, with the last lava eruption scorching the nearby landscape. On our show today, tackling bullying by teachers, pushing the button on startups, twinning solar and hydro, and canvases that inspire.
Welcome to 88 Residence Kathodua. Invest just 3 million and own your dream home. Pay 25% in 2.5 years, 55% at the handover with zero interest. Prices starting from 14.5 million. 0710 888 444. 88 Residence Prime Group.
Welcome to our snapshot and a quick look at the week that was. Sri Lankan expatriate year-on-year worker remittances turned negative in August, falling 33% for the third consecutive month to $447 million. The insurance sector's gross written premium grew nearly 11% during the first half of 2021 to over 10 billion. One of the biggest banks in Sri Lanka, Hatton National Bank, has appointed veteran banker Aruni Gunatilaka as its chair. Aruni has over 25 years international banking experience. An insurance leader, Srilanka Life, advanced its green mandate to build a new eco-friendly branch in Matale at an investment of nearly 89 million rupees. The branch will be powered entirely by solar power. Furry, shy, nocturnal and the size of a squirrel and looking like a miniature monkey, this is the new primate found in Sri Lanka. Australia has lost about 30% of its koala population over the last 3 years, leaving less than 58,000 surviving koalas. Earth 300 is a $700 million mega yacht and if built will be nuclear powered and emission free. The world's whitest paint has been created and is now in the Guinness Book of World Records because it reflects sunlight away from buildings. It may even eliminate air conditioning altogether. On our news capsule next is Lankan Angel Fund's first woman chair and the World Bank's senior water supply and sanitation specialist. Welcome, you're watching Prime Group Kaleidoscope and this is our news capsule. First Capital Research recently stated that the future of the power generation sector appears to be highly lucrative, with Sri Lanka pushing its targets of 70% renewable energy by 2030 and going carbon neutral by 2050. The World Bank's senior water supply and sanitation specialist based in Washington, D.C., Christopher Wilson, is currently leading efforts on solar water pumping and given Sri Lanka's large water bodies suggests twinning solar and hydro. Over 500 of these projects have been implemented in over 30 countries, including in the Maldives and India.
To meet the growing demand for electricity, Sri Lanka needs to add at least 8,000 megawatts to its power grid over the next 2 decades. A new technology, which is maturing quickly, is floating solar. This technology could be very relevant to Sri Lanka because of Sri Lanka's large water reservoirs and its many hydropower plants. Floating solar does obviously not take up any land. It can reduce water evaporation and can share existing power lines, power infrastructure with hydro. In fact, floating solar and hydro can operate in conjunction to make electricity greener and more affordable. At the World Bank, we are currently working with the government of Sri Lanka to study its feasibility for adoption.
The Colombo stock market has been seeing some robustness this week. The all-share price index was up by 5.5% and the average daily turnover registered at 5.8 billion rupees. Growing demand for oil from economies recovering from the pandemic, a power crunch in China and production issues in Nigeria and Angola led to WTI prices remaining at near historic highs of $75 per barrel. Gold prices continue to remain weak at $1,731 per ounce due to a robust dollar and elevated US Treasury yields. The Lankan Angel Network and Angel Fund has its first female chair. Chandi Dharmaratne has always been passionate about developing employability skills and encouraging IT industry growth as well as brain gain. However, the startup industry in Sri Lanka is yet in its fledgling stage, and I asked her what plans she has to add fillip to startups and the sectors with promise.
Right now, in comparison to the global ecosystem or even the regional ecosystem, we are at a nascent stage. But the good news is the potential. For example, if you take our graduates or our human capital, we think they are better than equal or better than anyone from any global landscape. If we provide them with global exposure and insights into trends and technologies in multiple industries, mainly I would say logistics, education, healthcare, retail, financial services, agri, and if we provide it together with more funding by having more partnerships and collaborations with multiple industry bodies and enablers, this will help us support these ideas, help us support these startups, and help them become players that can compete in the global arena.
This young man is Paris Brosnan. Yes, 007 Pierce Brosnan's son. Paris was in Sri Lanka in 2019 and used his time to direct and narrate a short film to create awareness and end childhood hunger. The world's biggest tango competition with 800 dancers from 25 countries was held in Buenos Aires last week, paying tribute to legendary soccer player and longtime tango fan Diego Maradona.
Welcome to 88 Residence Katadua. Invest just 3 million and own your dream home. Pay 25% in 2.5 years, 55% at the handover with zero interest. Prices starting from 14.5 million. 0710 888 444. 88 Residence Prime Group.
We discuss bullying by teachers next on Srilanka Life. Let's talk.
Making all your new goals in life a reality is why our strength is your strength. With 12 billion rupees worth of customer benefits in 2020 and a life insurance fund worth over 100 billion rupees, our strength is your strength. You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Srilanka Life.
Bullying is not new. It happens at home, school, university, workplace, in marriage, and then there's cyberbullying. 1/3 of the world's population has been bullied at some point in their lives, and sometimes with dire consequences: lifelong depression and suicide. Bullying is a massive discussion orbit, but let me narrow it down today with another aspect which may not quite be highlighted. Bullying by teachers. We have Chamodi Abhisheka, who was 8 when she was bullied by her teacher. Chamodi was diagnosed with clinical depression compounded by OCD, which again became fuel for bullying. Chamodi is 23 years now and trying to get past her traumatic childhood. A final year student at SLIIT studying cybersecurity, Chamodi decided to write her story, Overcoming My Fears, as a first step to the healing process. She shares her experiences with others who go through similar experiences, and today shares some of her insights which hopefully will help both parents and children. Welcome to Srilanka Life. Let's talk, Chamodi. You were bullied by your teacher when you were 8, and those experiences continue to mar you to this day. How would you differentiate between bullying and disciplining a child?
There are so many ways to discipline a child without resorting to a physical and emotional abuse as I was when I was a child. For example, a teacher can always gently approach a child and explain to them what they've done wrong. and maybe tell them why their action was wrong and how they could correct it. And I think that physical and emotional abuse is absolutely unnecessary in order to discipline a child. And when talking about my own experience, what happened when I was bullied was that I was terrified about what was happening because I did not have any idea about what I did wrong. And actually it turned out that I did not do anything wrong after all. So yeah, there's a very, very big difference between bullying and disciplining.
From what I gather, your parents did everything in their power to find out why you hated going to school, but you never spoke up with the real reason. What signs do you think parents should be on the lookout for when it comes to teacher bullying?
The reason I did not open up at that time is because I was 8 years old and it was a second day at school, and I was terrified and I did not know how to express myself. And thinking back, I think that I wasn't really sure about what exactly scared me either. What other parents could do to find out whether their kids are being put through such an ordeal. What they can do is that they can actually pay attention to their kids, and they can always take what the kids say seriously and have conversations, and always spend time with them, so that when the kid acts out or acts differently, the parents will be able to spot it very soon.
So there's the age-old saying, spare the rod and spoil the child. What would you say to teachers who continue to tout that saying?
This is a saying that I hate so very much because it's really, really unnecessary. But a teacher can be a very nurturing and very kind character in a child's life, especially because a teacher is a core element of a student's life. Sometimes the students spend more time with the teacher than the parent. Maybe they spend more time at school. And if one teacher is a class teacher, as well as if they teach a number of subjects, that means that they spend hours with the same teacher at school. So the teacher can be very nurturing because they have time to actually build and mold the child.
Obviously, your fellow students and other senior students were looking out for you. But what happens to those who don't have that safety net? What should the school community be on the lookout for?
So I think it is very important to educate these educators about the psychology of a student, mental health awareness, and those kinds of things. And also that teachers should make a positive environment, a positive space at school, where if one teacher is bullying a child, that child can go to another teacher. So there should be at least one such nurturing character for the children to trust. Always the parents should take what kids say seriously and not be dismissive and not be like, oh, don't talk to me now, yeah, that's normal. And they should take everything seriously and make sure to act on their kids' concerns.
Thank you, Chamodi, for sharing your experiences and also for bringing up 3 very important points. Educate the educators. Parents, do take heed to what your children say. And most importantly, schools have a positive space for children so they have a safe space if teachers are bullying them. That was Srilanka Live. Let's talk. So we're on some of the world's most dangerous train rides today on Prime Group Kaleidoscope, like this one, the Death Railway in Thailand, which connects Bangkok to Rangoon and built by the Japanese during World War II. The Death Railway was so named because of the prisoners of war and workers who died while building the track, which to date remains one of the most precarious routes of train travel, with literally a plunge to your death if something goes wrong. On Life in 60 is a young lady who decided to put her talents on canvas and fundraise for causes she's passionate about. Here's Shekinah Dasanayake, the founder of Inspo Art.
Can be both daunting and exciting, and those were the exact feelings that ran through my mind as I started up my business in June. Inspo Art is a place where we paint inspirational art in order to support 2 different causes. The first cause is the Animal Welfare and Protection Shelter in Dehiwala, and the second cause is the Indira Cancer Trust. These are two amazing causes, and two causes I have been meaning to support for a really long time, but never got the chance to because of my incredibly busy schedule. So when I did get the chance, I jumped at the opportunity to put the two things I'm passionate about in order to create Inspo Art. Since I started Inspo Art, I have received an immense amount of love and support from different people, and because of this, I have been able to fund two different programs. The first is the sterilization program, and the second is a 14-year-old girl who has been battling a brain tumor for a really long time. So since I created Inspo Art, it's been a learning journey for me as well.
If you liked our show today, please press the like sign on YouTube and please do subscribe as well. Plus, press the little bell icon to be alerted when the show comes up. We are also on Facebook and Instagram, so do follow our pages. We'll be back next week with another Prime Group Kaleidoscope. Here's our Kaleidoscope takeaway as a thought for the week. You must take action. You must do the impossible because giving up is never an option. Greta Thunberg.